Happy New Year's Eve, people. Yeah, I'm going to give you a short little tour. The place is a mess. I discovered when I was trying to wrap Christmas presents that this is come a little undone, so I need to fix that. So that's the first thing I'll be attempting. It's been too long since I've been in here. Just picture me, tears streaming down my face. The mess. I need to clean this up. Right? See, it's a disaster. I have not done anything up here, I think, since I started this job. Oh my gosh. It's a mess. It's a mess. I have fabric pulled out. What is that over there? Oh, see, I'm in the middle of how many projects sitting over there on top of my ironing board. But after I clean this up, I'm sorry, I realized, see, there's the safari journal, and I want to do a safari quilt. But my daughter has a baby shower to go to in a couple of weeks, and she has asked me to make a Winnie the Pooh quilt for the baby shower. It's not going to be anything fancy at all because I just don't have time. I have a chiropractor appointment today. I have to clean up this mess, or at least get it better organized. All the paper that I dyed. Oops, slow, sorry. More here that needs to be ironed and put away. Did that a while ago, right? And then I'm not going to be doing any journal making today. I will be doing some quilt making. And I don't think I've pulled out any fabric yet. I can't tell because the place is a mess. I have to get this fixed. Oh, sorry. I am moving around a little bit too fast. And the baby is a boy. That much I know. I do have some Winnie the Pooh type fabric here because I was going to, oh, sorry. Well, I have this, but it's a Classic Pooh, not a modern Pooh theme. I know I have some somewhere. But, yeah. I love my fabric. Okay. See you in a bit. Okay, well, I hope you can see me and hear me. I just pulled out some fabrics for the quilt. So, this is just one of those craft tables. I got it at Joann's. The sides fold down. I've had it for a while. As you can see, it's not the most sturdy of things, but for what I use it for, it works fine. And I originally got it, before I was into the junk journaling world, for sewing and quilting because of my back. I need something at a higher height. Yeah, the light in the hallway there keeps on going on and off, and what can I say? Something with the fixture. My brother thinks it's the light bulb, but my brother's an idiot, so it's the truth of it. See, there it goes again. It's the fixture. It's not the light bulb. All right, so crib quilts are, whoops. And this is an Olfa self-healing cutting mat, again, for quilting. Crib quilts are 35 by 45. And this is a scrap of Worn the Natural 100% cotton batting, which is what I like to use when I'm quilting. And it measures over 35, so I'm going to do 45 here. Here's 35. The dog is driving me crazy. She can't settle down. I don't know what her issue is. Here's 45. And I'm just making it bigger than I need it, obviously. I need to figure out, I still have to figure out. I think I'm just going to do simple 2-inch squares, maybe even 3-inch squares. Just something simple. All right, this goes back into my closet here. Whoops. Okay, so that's more than 45. And it's folded 4 times, 4 layers at, oh, there we go, at 11 inches. So that's 44. Not an issue. So this is going to be the batting. Now, see, here's the dog. She won't settle down. All right, there, settle there. This is the Winnie the Pooh fabric that I have. It's actually more of a fleecy. It's fleece lined. It's lovely fabric. I had it for many years. I'll tell you how many years I've had it, because when I was working with this one company years ago, and one of my coworkers was pregnant with her first child, who now is, I think, maybe 13. Their theme was Winnie the Pooh, and I made her a Winnie the Pooh quilt. So this is about 14 years old. But I could use it as the backing, but I'm not going to. I want to cut it in squares and use this as some of the squares in the quilt itself. So we have this. This stuff is what I'm going to use at the backing. I might put this because it's not very wide. I might make some squares of that too, right? So that. Now the backing, and I forget what this stuff is called. This type of fabric with the bubbles or whatever. I also bought this years ago to use as quilt backing for nieces and nephews, and I never got around to it. I think my daughter messed, I don't know what that is. Because there's so much green here, I think I'll probably use this pretty darker blue. All right, so let's cut this. And yes, I'm not using my rotary right now. I'm just doing rough cuts. When I sew it all together is when I will trim it down and stuff. How wide is this fabric? Here we go. Oof. Here we go. All right, this is also folded in half. 60 inches wide. All right, so I don't know if you can hear my brother downstairs. I thought of a line. My brother is almost deaf. He only has about 10% hearing in one ear. And he's very, very noisy. And I, who have my hearing is just fine, prefer silence. And I think it's, you know, the grass is always greener, wanting what we don't have or something like that. And what line did I think of before? I'm trapped in a world of quiet, wanting nothing but sound. And I am trapped in a world of sound, wanting nothing but quiet. Pretty much how I feel. All right, so what did I say? I said this is 60, so I don't think this stuff is going to tear. I'd be surprised if it tears. It's not going to tear. I think it's a knit. Okay. And I could get out but I'm not going to. 30. All right, I'm going to cut it. Oof. Here. And the thing is, because it has these marks of the pops or whatever they are, I don't know, I'll just cut straight down through the middle of one row. So this is the morning of New Year's Eve, the last day of 2021, which is pretty amazing, isn't it? Pretty amazing. These are my favorite kind of scissors. They're the Fiskars spring-loaded scissors. And actually, I'm not even using my fabric scissors. I'm using my scissors I use for making the journals. So there's that. I'm not even using the right scissors. At least they're not my scissors I use for things that have been glued. All right, let's, oh, excuse me. Let's see if we can get this. Wider than I want, but that's okay. When I buy, what I try to do, and I have to go through my fabric because a lot of, well, not a lot of it, but most of it, some of it at this point is not. When I buy fabric, I use my 6-inch wide quilter square, the long one, to wrap it around there, right? Like I just did, not accordion fold, but roll it, and so that I have one end, and then it just unrolls, and it's all this, and then I flip it over, and it's all the same size, so that it stores more easily. And when you look at my fabric over there, you see the piles of fabric and how they're all the same width and stacked upon each other. Anyway, all right, well, let me just put that over there. So here we have the quilt back. We have a pesky dog. All right, here's the quilt back. Oof. And here is the quilt batting. And quite honestly, considering the fabrics I'm using, I don't even know if we need a batting in it. It's going to be pretty, I mean, it's going to be pretty heavy as it is. This one I don't want. All right, so we're using, this is our main fabric. We have our baby blue popcorny fabric, whatever it is, I don't know. This, we could use this, it's bumblebees. These are not gonna go. These are flannelly. And I could just use those 3 fabrics. Don't know if I want to put anything else in it. I pulled out this bit of flannel because it was sitting over here. It's a lot of green though. I have my blue stripe. Hold on, let me cover this back up. Over here, I have my big bucket on the floor of my scraps. And this is what I go to first when I'm pulling fabric for journals. So this is what I mean. I just have it all rolled and then it just folded in half. So I have, this is also a flannel. It's the wrong color blue though. This is more of a steely blue. This is just plain cotton fabric, which is nice. It's the right color as well. So maybe just this dog. I'm telling you, this dog. All right, so 35 by 45, we can do 5.5-inch squares, which will take it down to 5-inch squares, right? Ah. So 30, let's see how many squares. So 5.5-inch squares. So 35, we'll take it to 30. 2.5-inch border all the way around. That looks good. So 5 goes into 36. So it's 6 rows across by 40 by 7. 6 by 7. 36, 42. We need 42 5.5-inch squares. 42 5.5-inch squares. Okay. 42. And we have 4 fabrics. 4 does not go into 42 evenly. If I do a center square of, oh, I don't have time to cross stitch. I was thinking I could do a center square, a larger square, like a 4 square. So 10.5-inch square. Takes 4 away. I still don't know if it's going to work. Or I could do a 2x3 center square. All right, well, I have to figure out how if I'm actually now going to design this or not. Because before I was saying I was just going to cut the squares and we could do that, right? Just make it really easy and simple. Or like this fabric, I could cut a large square out of this fabric. Let me show it to you. See how pretty it is? So I could center something there. All right. I could center Winnie the Pooh. Here, I'm just taking a look to see where the repeat is. Right there. There. Looking for my large quilt square. I know I have one out somewhere. Here it is. You see, I don't know if you can see on the wall behind me, all different types of quilting squares. This is what I'm looking for. So, the repeat is 10 inches. Ten by 8.5. 10 by 8.5 is the repeat. Yeah, it's a 10-inch square. Okay. A 10-inch square, and I want Pooh in the middle of it. Because it's a grid, it's very easy to put Pooh in the middle of it. All right, let me, there we go. We want Pooh in the middle of it. Okay, move. And I realize now that I should have made that bigger because I'm doing 5-inch squares. Ow. Shoot. That's okay. I can frame it out. Okay, so far I have the center square done. There goes the dog again. And it measures approximately 16.5 inches, which is fine. And I have here 6-inch squares. There's a few here. This is just from the scraps. I have cut some 6-inch squares. I will cut some 6-inch squares from that one, and then I think I'll also cut maybe 4-inch squares, and we'll go from there and see what goes. And I have also found some of this pretty satin in my bucket, which I will probably use for the binding of the quilt. And then this fabric too, a little bit of this. So we're getting there as far as cutting squares anyway. And now I'm going to make 4 of these squares. This is 4 by 4, and these are 3 by 3s, and this is 4 by 3. And that's going to be the 4 corners to anchor the center. So the quilt is done, and I will show that to you in a minute. But I don't know if it's more of a mess or less of a mess. It's more of a mess. I had to take everything off of the ironing board so I could iron it. And of course I had to take everything off of the cutting table too. And I think I've told you I have 3 sewing machines, 2 of which needed repair. That one there was repaired. So I use that to make the quilt, because my blue one, which I like, my little blue workhorse, which is down there, I used when I'm making journals and stuff, sewing paper and through glue and things. So this is the next project. Cleaning up this. So here's the quilt. The binding gave me what for, because it's satin. So you see the center square, and then you see the anchors, right? There we have it. This is Karynjean. Happy New Year. Thanks for stopping by.